So this is some really exciting news for Budget Build Bureau, my channel here. I had Auxbeam reach out and send me this stuff and basically say, hey, go ahead, try this stuff out, do an install, see if you like it, and leave a review. So pretty exciting news to be working with them. And I will say, so I opened these up already, just check them out. They sent me these small, I think they're 3-inch pod light, and they come with both a clear lens and an amber lens, and also the 8-gang switch panel, which has RGB, Bluetooth, some really cool stuff. I wasn't too sure on basically how this stuff would feel. On their website, you get on there, it's a great website, like lays everything out really well, but still, I wasn't sure how like this stuff would actually feel in the hand when you got it, if it would feel like it was well built or anything like that. But it actually seems super nice so far. So unboxed it. This is solid state relay and fuse block, basically power distribution block with solid state relays in it. Super cool. This is just a block of aluminum. Again, like actually feels nice. Comes with a pretty nice set of instructions as far as installation, extra fuses, fuse puller, nice cover. Comes with a couple mounting options for the actual switch panel. This is actually way smaller than I expected to. I was expecting this to be quite a bit bigger, but it's pretty nice and stealth. Buttons feel good. Again, aluminum casing, not plastic. Actually feels nice. And this kit comes with everything you need. Comes with a 60-amp breaker, put that in your engine bay. Comes with your accessory wiring, the add a fuse setup, so you don't really have to alter your vehicle's wiring to get accessory power. You can do that in the engine bay as well. A nice loomed harness that goes from the switch panel to the relay box. Even comes with zip ties, another mounting plate for a flush mount setup, little screwdriver. Comes with basically everything you need for an install, and some decently heavy gauge wire. Should be enough to carry whatever power I'm going to be putting through there, which this is rated, I believe, for, it's a 60-amp breaker. I think this is rated for 50 amps, and then they basically trickle each one of these circuits down. So you'll see 30 amp, 30 amp, 20 amp, 20 amp, 10, 10, 5, 5. So as you go down the line there, and basically you'll make your switch panel go from highest amperage that way to lowest amperage down here. Also has a actual on-off, it has pulse features. You can change colors from your phone through the Bluetooth app. You can make basically a virtual switch panel through the Bluetooth app and power rock lights, change colors of rock lights, whatever you want to do. Then moving over to the 3-inch pod lights here. Like I said, it comes with both lenses. I'm probably gonna run the ambers just because I like the look more. Better in like foggy situations. Again, all aluminum housings. Feel nice. They're waterproof rated. Nice connectors. I don't have any beef with any of this stuff up front. One thing I will say, they did include Allen keys. The Allen keys are not great. It already rounded out trying to remove one of these lens bolts, so that's one thing I will say. But you shouldn't really use those anyway. Anything that comes with, any tools that come with a product typically are not the best. Then these come with their own harness. So this is full relay harness setup. This would be if you were to run these separately without the switch panel there. So I'll probably end up hacking that up because I don't need that relay or the switch, but I will need the connectors. So we'll use that. Comes with mounting brackets, hardware for that, all stainless hardware. Sticker, installation manual, stuff like that. Pretty straightforward, but so far, yeah, packaging is nice. Everything seems pretty solid. So we'll get to the install and get it thrown on probably the Chinook. I was debating between either doing these on the Rav or on the Chinook. I think they're going on the Chinook. And we'll see. Hopefully if I like the product and if they want to keep working with me, maybe I can get some more stuff sent out and get some stuff installed on the other projects. All right, let's get to it. So the first thing I'll be working on is mounting the actual lights. So I'm gonna do the hood mount brackets here and run a bracket that goes underneath this bolt head and here, but obviously below the actual hood bracket so it doesn't pop the hood up at all. So I am just measuring this out. What I usually do if I'm doing anything in Fusion will be get a few pictures with a tape measure in the picture as a size reference, and then I'll use it as a stencil somewhat on Fusion. But I will also get measurements from center of hole to center of hole and a rough idea of how long I actually want the bracket to be, just because sometimes using this as a template with a picture in Fusion isn't the most accurate. So I'm going to try to make this as simple of a bracket as it can be. So for this, since with the hood latched, there is pretty much no clearance there for a bracket to sneak through. What I'll end up doing is probably trimming this tray here, which not a huge deal, probably either with a Dremel or a razor, and just basically trim just to the side of this screw here and cut that out, allow some clearance for that bracket to come out and for the light to mount. The nice thing with this Auxbeam setup is you can get rid of any extraneous wiring like that. So I'm going to run those lights off of this switch panel as well. And then I have a lot of stuff that I still need to hook up in the cab here, and I have 8 slots to hook stuff up. So we'll crack on. I'm going to get on Fusion and start designing that bracket, and then we can cut it out on the Langmuir Systems table and get this set up. Loaded this up in Fire Control. Basically, this is Langmuir's cut program. You load up your program that you made in Fusion or whatever you choose, SheetCam, stuff like that. I'm going to bring this over to Work 0. Machine will follow, and then you just press Start. And just like that, you have a part that's pretty hot. Then you chuck it in some snow. Part gets less hot. Drop it on the floor. Part gets less crusty. Let's see. These cuts are fairly clean. On holes, it doesn't do quite as well, especially on smaller holes. Usually I have to go and open them up with a step bit, but that's fine. And then I just clean them up with an angle grinder. Okay, making some progress. I got V2 cut out on this side. Got that trimmed out. Definitely didn't have to trim out as much as I did. So eventually I might replace the cowl with that other one that I have. And I'll also probably trim these bolts that came with the lights just a bit so they don't contact when the hood opens. They do, but just barely right now. So lifts up, gets to where it needs to have the hood prop up. Looks pretty decent. It does seem a little wobbly. I don't know if in the wind that'll wobble or not, so we'll just find out on that. If it does, I may be able to just punch a little rib into the aluminum there and strengthen it up. But I'm pretty happy with where they're at. They're pretty tucked out of the way. I think that's going to give a good kind of spotlight, ditch light. And I can always just bend the bracket a little bit to move it around wherever I want it. And then I get some directional tilt with the Auxbeam provided bracket as well. Side to side tilt that way. So I think it'll work out. I like the location, it looks good. The one thing that I'm not positive about is if it's going to reflect off the hood and give me problems with that. So it may end up getting turned more away from the hood. But we'll see. We'll have to just wait until I can light them up at night. I'm gonna get the other one on there. All right, that's part one of this install. Lights are on the truck. They look pretty good. Again, might need to move them around a bit. Also pay no attention to this. I forgot to do some body work when I went to paint it, but I gotta go back through and do a bunch of touch-up paint and fix some stuff from when I painted it. But overall, I think those look pretty good. Okay, so far this is pretty simple. I have been sitting in the truck with the heat on and just kind of pre-building this fuse and relay block here. So I got the main power, ground, and the cutoff there. So this is going to get hooked to battery terminal, which I already have like a post already set up. I might have to drill this out a little bit, but I have a positive post that's set up somewhere there. And then this just goes to battery ground. Easy. Then you have a connector, 2-pin connector that goes to accessory power. That's why they include these add a fuse things, which would be nice if I had this style fuse on this truck. The RAV has the minis, but the T100, even though they're the same year, has the old school, the bigger fuses. So those aren't too useful for me, unfortunately. If you have anything newer, probably would work. So I am probably just going to Scotch connector into accessory. And then that is this wire that gets plugged into this block. That goes to accessory. And then this harness, nicely loomed one, goes into this side in the engine bay and then comes through the firewall and gets plugged into the switch panel, which I think I'm gonna run right here. Okay, a little battery upgrade too. Got the Optima yellow top in there. That should be a little better than the Never Start. And this just needs to be drilled out, like I said, and hooked up there. I'm gonna do a part 2 video showing how the install of this goes, and then actually go through the use of the lights, show them at night, maybe go out for a little cruise out there somewhere and show how they work. And then I'll give more of an actual review of what I think of the lights. For now, that was just part 1. Part 1 is going to be the install on just the pod lights themselves and making the brackets. So stick around for part 2. If you like anything I'm doing out in the cold, feel free to subscribe, like the video, comment. If you hate it, go ahead and comment. Dislike it. It's all fine. You can do whatever floats your boat. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for watching.